Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm your host, Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at very spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are reviewing Son, available on VOD from RLJe Films. Oh, this is going to be interesting. All right, let me introduce the crew, starting off with Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm a son of a... Well, I don't know what I'm a son of. Okay.
Okay.
Gun.
I'm good.
Son of a biscuit.
Oh,
I am
my.
a son of a son. I'm a son of a son.
Oh, no. Also joining us this week is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. How you doing?
I'm great. This movie, this is a good one. This is fun.
Oh,
supernatural, little soupy natural.
A little cult action, a little stuff going on, right? All right, yeah, we're going to talk about Son. What we're going to do is we're going to give our first impressions, and then we're going to dive into the film a little bit with a discussion, and then we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. So what are we talking about? We are talking about Son. No, that's Lucky. That is Son, but I left Lucky. You know how many times?
You checked it.
You checked it.
Three or four times, and that should say Son. It is 2021 from RLJe Films, available March 5th. Writer, director Ivan Kavanaugh. The cast includes Andy Metachak, Emil Hirsch. Sorry, Emily. Emil Hirsch, Luke David Blum, and the synopsis is: after a mysterious group of individuals breaks into Laura's home and attempts to steal her 8-year-old son, David, the two of them flee town in search of safety. Soon after the failed kidnapping, I am so confused. David becomes extremely ill, suffering from increasingly sporadic psychosis and convulsions following her maternal instincts to save him. Laura commits unspeakable acts to keep him alive, but soon she must decide how far she's willing to go to save her son. Now that train wreck is over, let's get into the review. So, Jeff Mohr, you are up first. What was your first impression of Son?
I like it. Good actors, although if I had to say so, I'd say it's probably not Emil Hirsch's best film, but I think there might be some explanation for that in the plot line.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we find out. So anyway, and this woman, I don't think I've ever seen her before. Andy Metachak. I thought she was excellent.
She was in the Halloween remake.
Oh, I know she was, but I couldn't place her. I need to watch that again. The kid, Luke David Blum. Oh my God. Wow. I just thought that kid is incredible in a very difficult and emotional role. So anyway, I enjoyed this, and it takes a while to unreel, I guess, so to speak. But it's always making a little progress, and you're always finding out something. You're always a little wondering, is it this or it's that, you know? And then I'll tell you what, the ending knocked me over. I thought I knew exactly what the last line was going to be, and it was going to fade to black, and boy, was I wrong.
No, nice.
And it was in a good way. I'm glad it was unpredictable, at least for me. So I had a good time watching this late at night by myself.
Yeah, that's a good time to watch this particular one. Yes. All right, yep. Crystal Cleveland, you're up next. What was your first impression of Son?
Oh, this was exactly what I anticipated and what I expected, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It does, like as Jeff stated, it does take a little bit of time to sort of unpack, but it's not long. You can already tell that things are off and things are weird and things are starting to happen. And I knew who was involved and stuff. as I was watching it. I'm really good at that. I know. I'm always like, oh, I know. But really, I was like, and I was hoping for some certain things because I really liked that aspect. I just really love these
Certain things.
religious, supernatural. I don't want to give anything
Yeah,
away,
yeah, yeah.
but I think it's kind of obvious too once it starts, you know.
Yeah, they kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
There are a number of red herrings, and some of them are on the point. But
Yes,
you don't know it.
Honestly, the mother and the son carry this movie, and they're phenomenal as well. And I think the son is amazing, and you know, it really strikes home, I think, for any mother because it's what would you do for your child, regardless of the situation or what was going on, you know? Although she made different choices at the end than I would have.
I'd hope.
Yeah, I'm more like Rosemary's Baby. Oh, don't care. Don't care. That's my baby. That's my boy. Okay, so yeah, I totally think everyone should watch this movie. I think it's fabulous. I think it's done well. I think there's a lot of gore. There's a really there's a really beautiful pink tile in this bathroom of the seedy hotel, which kind of shocked me. I was like, I love that tile. It's way too clean. And then it's not so clean anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe it started out white but after a couple of takes. I enjoyed this quite a bit too. I am also a fan of I would say Exorcist films, but that's being too on the point. Supernatural films, devil films, or cult films, or films that bring that when I was watching this, I was like, "Am I watching a remake of The Omen?" You know, there could be a line there that would be a parallel to it. It's not because it's a female character and she actually is the mother, but after that there are some similarities, and the performances are, like you said, are killer. The Andy is fantastic. I really liked Emile Hirsch in there. He's been making
me too. Yeah, he's fine.
Some hidden gems in there. There's a couple films he's made where the film isn't necessarily as good, but he's always strong in them.
Autopsy of Jane Doe.
He's fantastic.
Fantastic. That's one of my favorites. I love that freaking movie.
I can't remember the name of the other movies I've watched with him. There was one where he was in Russia with a bunch of aliens, and then there's another one and then there's another one where he's with his daughter, but it's weird things parallel or time thing, sci-fi kind of things are happening. Sorry, I can't remember the names of either of those movies, but they're bad, but I enjoyed them, and it was mostly because of him. And he's good here too. And the son, Luke is the actor. They got a lot out of him. I mean, they asked a lot of him, and he delivered. And it is a physical, emotional, and it's a performance that I could see some mothers not wanting their children to participate with. But in the end, I really enjoyed it. And I will admit that the final scene was going to, in the end, make or break the movie, even though I enjoyed it.
Really? See, that surprises me.
So whether I actually liked it or loved it was going to depend on what decision they made at that final thing. And they did the decision that made me like it a lot.
Well, and I think the decision as to the look of the way they went with that was really unique as well. Something I've never seen before. And I was like, oh, okay. I like something different with that. Yeah. Very different.
If they had, so what I'm talking about is at the hospital. If they had stopped before the hospital, I still would have liked it. But once they got into the hospital, it had to make the right decision. And it did.
Well, that's what I was talking about too.
Yeah, it could have made it could have done something entirely else and totally turned against me. But anyway, I don't want to say too much more about that because we need to talk
I'll tell you what I expected the last line to be offline.
All right. Well, It's going to be a fun discussion. Anyway, let's talk about the actual film itself. Okay, so it isn't.
It's hard not to give anything away. I think.
Right. So I'm going to try to like set the stage so we can discuss about it. The son, there's an intruder or intruders, and whether it's cast out very quickly whether it actually was an intruder or in her imagination. And then on top of that, her son comes down with an illness, and then she has to make decisions to take his health or future into her own hands, and they end up going on the run. With Emil Hirsch's Paul character and his I forget what's the cop's name, Steve. That's all we know. His name is Steve. They're on the chase, right? They want to save her or save the boy. Actually, to be honest, and it ends up being at times very seedy. With the choices. I mean, they go. She has a very. I mean, we said it was a cult film, and I think the first 5 minutes kind of give you the impression of what's going on there, and it goes back into that past, and you meet very seedy people, but very terrible things happen around these people, and it's gory, and some of the scenes are uncomfortable, but they kind of need to happen. It's I was totally sucked into the movie the entire time, and I was questioning every turn. What's going on here? What is, because they really do a good job of tilting one way for a while and then throwing some doubt and tilting the other way and then throwing some doubt.
See,
again.
I didn't see any doubt at all. Like I didn't. That's one of the things that I liked about this movie. I don't like movies that make you question whether the lead is sane or not. I can't stand that. I'm like, is it real or not? Or blah, blah. No, I was like, I felt like they did I felt like they were completely straightforward. Well, and they were. Everything that happened was very straightforward. Thankfully,
the option was still there. I'm with Doc on that. I was wondering as one of the things.
Well, as long as you had the cops characters in there, the cops were very much telling us that it was in her mind. I mean, they literally were saying that, so they were continually casting that doubt, and you don't know until the end, unless you. Well, you will know. You kind of know. We're told.
I guess. For me, I thought since she seemed more supernatural herself, in a way that she was kind of seeing. From kind of preemptively seeing danger.
You always get this stuff a lot better than I do.
Because
you figured it out, and I'm wondering longer. So
I do watch a lot of this stuff.
So. Well, I did like how they built it because she, her memories were starting to come back. We start learning why she.
That's what I was. Right? That's why I was like, well, I think she's like starting to feel this, and I do think how they kept talking about something about her was special. I think there was a little bit more to her than, I mean, I know they really didn't technically allude to that, except for the fact that she was the only one that was able to, do the one thing.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe she was a little bit more in tune with all the, maybe that's why she was chosen or whatever, I don't know.
Well, I like that, they start exposing her background with the cult as the movie goes on. And for example, her father is the leader of the cult, right? And we don't really see his face. We see more of him and more of him as the story goes along. And that was her memory coming back in my mind. That's what I was, kind of putting it up to. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the framework. I thought that this movie told its story in a really good way, because sometimes flashbacks can kind of undo you if you're not careful, right? You can throw too much exposition in it, and this one I thought handled it really, really well.
Yep.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, but I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
I will say I was surprised about I wasn't surprised that someone was involved, but I was surprised at how far they went.
Oh yeah, I was too. I agree with you there. I was that. Yes.
Hmm.
There's a lot to like, and I wish Dave was here because we always talk about the gore with Dave and the special effects. This one does not shy away
Mm-mm.
from
No.
really. I wasn't expecting it to be as gory as it was. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yes. I agree.
I was like, Jeff, yeah.
Well, I thought it was
Especially-
an interesting choice. There's a character in the movie, and this isn't giving anything away, but I didn't notice it at first. But the guy had a one of those tracheotomies. He was
Yes.
and I guess because I didn't notice the voice didn't sound weird. It wasn't like he was using one of those things. He was still talking okay, but he smoked his cigarette out of his neck. I was like, well, that's an interesting choice.
Yep. But man, talk about seedy, slimy. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's on the run. She's trying to hide out, so she's picking all the worst hotels, and then the her old friends she goes to visit are just
It's kind of
seedy.
sad about that
Yeah.
guy.
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I was really, when she started going, the movie picked up for me. I mean, I was already interested, but it really picked up when she started going, from house to house, going to her friend's
Mhm.
mother's house, and then going to
Mhm.
him, and then
Mhm.
well, I mean, it made the natural progression back to he is coming sign, but I was really. I was really appreciative of how they structured it, and it really drew me in.
I thought all of
agree.
her choices were interesting, but made sense as far as how she set things up as well too. Trying to, I guess, deflect, but
Well-
it didn't really work.
I like too that she didn't mess around, because sometimes you watch a movie like this and you're thinking, get the hell out of there, and the person
Mhm.
doesn't. Boy, when she made the decision, she got the hell out of there in a hurry. And
Yeah.
Yes.
she kind of figured it out anyway. I think she already knew she was going to do that, but then it got pushed forward when she witnessed
But
something
see,
else.
that's what surprised me at that point, that she didn't. I was like, okay, if you know XYZ is involved,
Mhm.
That's the point where I was like, oh, oof,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
ain't good.
I thought the dialogue was good too, and some of the performances was understated. I'm talking about Emil Hirsch here because I thought his performance was very. I thought it was perfect for the role.
Hmm.
But the line "Mommy, I feel better now" is so creepy in context, right?
It kind of reminds me of Misha Barton in the Sixth Sense, where she's like, "I feel much better now."
Oh no!
She and her
Yes.
mom. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, you
different
forget that's Mission
concept,
Barton.
yeah. Like, oof. But
All right.
yeah, it's.
I know
Yeah.
we're all kind of like wanting to say something, and if we say too much,
I
we're
don't
gonna
wanna give anything
totally
away.
I
spoil
know.
the
I
movie.
know.
And I, and
Because
this movie doesn't want to be spoiled. You want to catch the surprises and the twists.
And I think that it's a really, honestly, it's at its core, it's really a straightforward movie, and I think it's going to be, yep. It's going to hit like kind of the marks you want. It's just a good. It's well made. It's shot very dark, which is nice.
And it's from RLJe Films and
They've
association
been
with
bringing it.
and association with Shudder. So this will be on Shudder later this year at some point.
Good.
So Shudder. So we'll definitely let you know when that
I
happens.
paid for that shirt. We don't get freebies.
that. We don't.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
But we'll accept freebies if you just saying.
Yes, we will. I'm a small.
Did
Thank
I
you.
just incriminate myself? I think I might have. Let's go ahead
No one
and
will
wrap this
trust
up.
us again.
Oh no, I know. Let's go ahead and wrap this up with our final thoughts. Our score 1 to 5 or 1 to 5. I can't do it now. 1 to 5. And our favorite scene. And if you are still hanging out, we would just want to say thank you so much. If you want to help us out, it's really easy and it's free. Just hit the subscribe button or share with a friend. those two simple things will do a great deal for us. If you want to get a little bit more involved, you can hit the like button and the bell to get notified for other things and leave some comments. We'd love to hear from you. And for those who are leaving comments, we want to thank you so much. We are really enjoying it. We like it. We've already got comments about this film because we did a gruesome guide earlier in the week.
Oh.
And some people have seen it and they've commented. So I've already gotten
Did
comments.
they like it? I hope they liked it.
I won't say
Really?
here on the
Oops.
podcast. Go look at the comments and comment about the comment. All right. We also want to take a quick moment to thank our patrons over at Patreon, who, without their help, we wouldn't be able to do not only the Gruesome Magazine podcast, but Horror News Radio, Decades of Horror, and Heroes and Droids. So check those podcasts out and reviews. They're all over the place, from theatrical films. Well, where are they at? And Decades of Horror, of course, does everything from the classic era all the way through the 80s. And Heroes and Droids, we've been doing WandaVision lately, and that's been a lot of fun. Oh my God, it's so good. All right, let's let's do this now. Jeff, you're up first. What is your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene?
I hate going first.
You do.
But I get to pick my favorite scene, so
Yep.
There's plenty to choose from.
Well, so I think this is a definite watch. I think it's well written, well shot. It's, even though the story isn't necessarily linear because we have flashbacks where she's remembering things, it's easy to tell. They do a good job of delineating that. Yeah. And I had not noticed this before, but Ivan Kavanaugh, the writer-director, also did The Canal. Irish. 6 or 7 years ago. It was really good. Creepy movie. Yeah, I like this. I gotta score it.
You do.
I'm gonna go 4.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Because I don't want to be lowest.
You're not.
Like it. It's got some special. I kind of do a 3 if I like it. It's worth watching, and this one has some extra stuff to it, and that ending just sold me, and so I'm taking that as my favorite scene.
You bugger.
Okay.
What
the hell?
No, there's plenty more. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but that is a great scene. It like I said, it actually sold me on the film as well.
And I can't tell you what it is because I'd spoil it.
That's true. All right, Crystal, you're up next. What is your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene?
Obviously, I think you should watch it. It's you have Shudder. You totally have Shudder. I know you have Shudder. You better have Shudder, so you better watch it. And I'm going to give it a 3.75. Nice. So, yeah, Jeff did not give. I was waffling. And my favorite scene is, because it shocked me and it kind of came out of nowhere, and I feel like it kind of, it put a little twist on a traditional type movie of this. It would be The Neighborly Snack. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't want to talk about. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Totally different from what we're used to seeing. You might want to have to get your face up in there, Doc.
I know. I was going to say it's.
But yeah, that's me. That's mine.
Can't get back in focus. All right. Where am I? Okay. Let's see. Is that me? I can't do it. What's going on?
That's so weird. Oh, your hand is in focus. Your fingy. Look at that.
All right. I'll just have to do it blurry. It's so weird. All right. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll take me down here, so it's not as bad. I enjoyed this quite a bit. It surprised me. It entertained me. It's my jam. I like it when a film toes that supernatural line. It doesn't necessarily have to go full supernatural, but if it goes supernatural enough, at least, I love it. But the more supernatural it goes, the more I'm going to like it. Let's just say. And I thought this did a good job of kind of making you give a crap about these characters, right? Even though they might not be doing, this is so weird, I'm so blurry. They might not be feeling that they're doing the best things, but at the same time, you understand what's going on, right? So I think the performances are what make it, especially our two leads, the mother and the son, and Emil's good too. So I'm going to give it I'll give it a 4 as well. I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
Oh wow!
I'm going to do that because I was thinking 3.75 actually, but I think I talked myself into liking it more as we're going in, which happens a lot. My favorite scene is going to be there's a lot I could choose from, and you guys chose my first and second choice. So my third choice is going to be the bathroom scene where the tiles.
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely. That beautiful pink tile goes so pretty,
all crimson. But really, just how. Okay, so there's some stuff happening. I'm so out of focus. There's so much going on with that scene, you know, with how she's behaving, the way he is just being this guy is being a complete piece slime ball. And then the creepy shit that's happening in the room coming up to them. And then, of course, everything that happens after that. And then the result of it was a really cool special effect. You know,
I agree.
It was just you know, it's you'll see. You'll know what I mean. And you won't see me, but you'll see the special effect because I'm out of focus. What is going on? Crystal, help me.
I usually just have to get up close to it and put my hand in it, and then I'm good. See how much clearer it gets? But I don't know what are you sure it's not dirty? Like maybe like something got on it or something.
But while we're doing the show, did I spit? I don't know. All right. So
we'll just have to like be in focus for you.
Yeah, just help me out here. All right, let's go ahead. Guys, Crystal, Jeff, thank you so much for hanging out with me. The review, Son, it is coming. Is always out fun. On the 5th from RLJe Films for your VOD pleasure. It will be on Shudder later in the year, so check that out.
Yay!
But thank you for joining me, and let's say goodnight.
Good night. Don't look at Doc. He's all crazy fuzzy.
Over here. Oh.
I'm crazy fuzzy. Good night.
Good night.